Yep. Give me a nod when you're ready.
Like
Shooter's ready. Stand by.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 3GIQ podcast. I'm joined here tonight with Staff Sergeant Alex Goking.
Hello, how are we?
So it's been kind of a hiatus. The last time I think we did one of these was probably like in November.
Yes.
Yeah. So, after we all competed at Fort Benning Multi-Gun, kind of the team went their own way, in a sense. People started taking leave, holidays was coming up. You guys went out to Okinawa, and then come January, you went to the Staff Academy for career progression. And I started working over at the FBI Academy on an internship basis just to kind of get outside the military work experience with the civilian law enforcement agency as a firearms instructor. So it's kind of been a long period of time since we've really seen each other in person. And we've been on the range really.
No, it's been a bit. I think the last physical. Well, I think I saw you once when I came back to the office for a bit, but the only other time I saw you was your name. I was on the computer and I was like, oh, hey, Gunny logged on not too long ago. That's about it.
Yeah. I periodically, maybe once a month, check my government email and to see if there's anything important. Usually nothing, not at this point. But yeah, also I have to say that tonight's episode is brought to you by Bourbon. I am currently drinking Michter's small batch bourbon, and you're what, drinking Isaac Bowman?
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought we couldn't talk about that.
Hey, you know what? I don't care.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're in our own homes.
Yes.
And we're talking to each other over the internet.
Yes. And it's a Sunday evening, and I'm enjoying a glass of bourbon.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
So I've kind of stepped down. For those that don't know, I've kind of stepped down as my role as being in charge of the 3-gun team and really having anything to do with the shooting team other than, talking to the guys and everything, because really, like I said, since January, I have been over at the FBI Academy, and September 1st is my retirement ceremony at the Marine Corps Museum. And then I pretty much start terminal leave shortly after that. I have almost 3 months of terminal leave saved up, so I'm going to use every bit of that. And you are stepping into your new role as the staff NCOIC, essentially the manager in charge of the action shooting team. So how is that going?
It's going pretty decent. Just kind of getting a routine set up, from making sure we have ammo to making sure we have places to shoot and getting ready for the matches coming up this fiscal year. And a lot of it is contacting a lot of match directors. You kind of set the stage for me on that. It was pretty easy because half of them we actually hung out with, from Chad, Francis, and Donnie, and it was a pretty quick, pretty easy correspondence between the guys at Vortex running JKM and the Wisconsin 3-gun. It's like they kind of knew the drill, so I was like, bet, that's easy. But besides the admin stuff, which is really not that big of a deal, it does keep me inside more than it does keep me on the range. it's been decent. I think part of it is also the guys on the team right now are really pushing it. They're doing a phenomenal job. They've been pretty fire and forget recently, and I really appreciate that from them.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good to see that things are going in the right direction, from the outside. And I couldn't be happier with who I, turned the team over to. Because you and I talk a lot offline. And we're always thinking the same thing, and we always notice the same thing, and we're always like, we need to do this, and you're like, yes. And it's pretty cool that we have more or less the same vision, because that vision can kind of continue being carried forth, because at the end of the day, we don't exist just to shoot competition. We exist to take what we learn from competition and develop all the other Marines out in the operational forces on becoming more lethal, increasing their survivability, and actually killing the enemy.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the similarities in the way we think is, and we just we're both competitors. We both love this stuff. We both understand how important it is. Like, I think you and I both agree that if the entire Marine Corps could shoot even to a fraction to the level of even some of these junior shooters, like we'd that'll be pretty nuts to see.
Oh yeah.
Like, I personally believe that the Marines deserve this. They deserve to have action shooting as part of things they have access to, right? Like, it's no longer the days where you had to be a top tier unit to get like competitive training. It's not just those guys. Now we can actually provide that to the rest of the Marine Corps. I think it's a service that's well deserved.
What's actually really cool? So I stopped by the office this week, and me and Top were talking. And I should say me and Master Capco were talking, for those you don't know what Top means. But him and I were talking, and he was like, I'm kind of getting tired of all these, he gets all the, like, about 6 requests a week for medals. And I will admit it, that's a lot now. And that's expensive, considering, the price of each marksmanship medal that we send out is roughly $40 a medal.
Hey, you heard that? You heard that, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, people out there in the fleet. Those medals that you're getting is not your PX brand marksmanship badge. This is some real deal expensive stuff.
Yeah. So, it gets expensive, and that doesn't come out of their budget. That comes out of the Marine Corps shooting team's budget. But what, and he's like, man, this is getting really expensive. I was like, yeah, it is. But here's the cool part. We're actually influencing people, and they're going out and competing, and they're going out and winning. And
absolutely,
that in itself is cool, because years ago, when I first got to the team, we never saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is, about 6 medals a week, roughly. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. It means more than just the submission of the medal. It means, Marines are out there on their own time, dry firing, for, again, going out of their way, like spending sacrificing a weekend. Is it really a sacrifice though? But sacrificing a weekend, shoot a local match, and they're just getting at it, and it's so awesome. It always warms my heart whenever I hear an old buddy like message me, "Hey, I heard I can get a medal from this." I was like, "Yeah, you can." It's like, oh, "Okay, cool. What do I need to do? Here you go. Here's my email," and then so on and so forth. But like, it's awesome to see. It's really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, where are you off to next?
And what? Oh, you mean in terms of matches?
Yeah. So what's next for you?
So closing up on the MIG season, we got one more in East. I'll be helping out doing an MTT with second reg over on Lejeune. And then after East, we're going to have championships. And once championship ends, we're going to go ahead and do a quick turnaround and start getting prepped for the match season. We're going to start this year off with the Tar Heel Challenge by Donnie and Donnie Flo. We're going to gear up for that. And Okay, I suck. I did all of the forms in the same day, so I'm probably gonna get the order wrong on what happened the next match. But it's
I probably have it down by heart. Like I'll let you know which comes
okay.
before what.
Absolutely. So off the top of my head, it feels like we're gonna do Tar Heel and then the Wisconsin three gun, then JKM, then Generation three gun. Did I get that right?
I believe so.
All
Yeah.
right,
I
not bad.
I'm trying. Yeah, no, you got it right because yeah, it's Wisconsin first and JKM after that. It's honestly been a while since I've looked at the match schedules, but yeah, it sounds about right. My schedule is a lot more condensed. I'm actually trying to take the time to prepare for my retirement. And could I easily go out and compete with you guys throughout the entire summer? Yeah, I could. But what's that really going to do for me long term finding a career? Probably
That's
not
right.
much.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right.
but I committed to going down to North Carolina to do the Battle for the South, which is put on by the Sioux City Armory. Um,
Hey.
and I was actually talking to Jason Byerly, who's the match director for that. I was like,
Mhm.
dude, I haven't shot one round since December. Like and I've been over at the FBI, training students and everything, being around guns every day, but I myself have not had the time of day to go shoot around. So I've been doing some dry fire. I've been preparing some there. I think I'm going to take some time this week to uh, go get some rounds down range, practice some long range stuff. Um, you know, do what I can when I can, but
Mhm.
life's been busy. After uh the Battle for the South, I'll be doing in June. I have planned um what's it called, tactical games
Mhm.
up in Garrettsville, Ohio. So that'll be fun. It's completely different than three gun, but just something I wanted to experience. And then I plan on doing the tactical games team match in August. Uh, that'll actually be a week before my retirement ceremony. So
Mhm.
hopefully I can actually walk for my ceremony.
There you go.
And then um, I plan on going. I'm gonna make every effort to go, but I want to go to Generation Three Gun and actually help Chad Francis with that match.
Oh yeah,
If Yeah, I plan on ROing it. It's just it's a good cause. And then
absolutely.
I do plan on doing Memorial Three Gun. Um,
Yeah.
I just have to really, I'm watching the distance I'm traveling. I'm watching how much I'm going out. I'm just trying to be smart about the whole the monies and time because right now I'm also going to college.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, on the bright side, I mean, I'm not really good at math, but I'm under the assumption that you can have a career and shoot three gun, but you can't really shoot three gun without a career.
exactly.
So I think it's the safe bet. And second, if you can't walk during your retirement ceremony, my range card, I got it. It's a pretty robust range card, so I could wheel you up when they call you up for your
Oh, I'm
award.
totally down for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, there you go. Freaking just wheel you up there.
How about I get one of those walkers that older people utilize?
Sure, except replace the tennis balls with dummy grenades.
Okay,
It's
that could
some
work.
combat wizard stuff.
Um, so now that you're the staff in CIC, and you're seeing the development of these guys, what's your main focus going to be?
So my main focus is making right now, which I'm taking after what you did for us. Just want to make sure everyone is set has everything they need to pretty much do what we do every day to make sure nobody has to. I want to make sure nobody has to worry about ammo. I want to make sure nobody has to worry about ranges. Nobody has to worry about getting to and from a match. What I want for the guys to worry about is like, okay, use the time, get better, which is something they're going to do. Even without that much cover, but it's just all the more better. All the more better when they know that they can do their stuff without having to worry about it. Second, like I think the way the team is intrinsically motivated individuals. I'm not an I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but from what I've seen and what I understand, when it comes to a small team, the biggest thing is when things are going well to get out of people's way. Like last thing I want to do is try to when everything's going getting better and better and better, that I try to put myself where I don't need to be at. And I think that's really easy when you have a bunch of guys who are fairly fire and forget, just go out there and do work, just making sure I take care of them in everything else around that, like give or take. So
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let the guys handle the stuff they know they need to handle, and you take care of what you need to. I mean,
Absolutely. I'm gonna do the boring stuff. I'll let them do the fun stuff more.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see where you guys end up. I think this year is going to be a pinnacle year for you guys. Just, from the conversations you and I have had, with the way things are going. Ariano really taking the reins now as the coach.
Mhm.
And just seeing the talent that we have, I'm really interested in seeing the summer shooters and their development when you guys actually pick them. And I think I'm not going to do another internship after this. I plan on being around, but I kind of plan on being there in the background and helping out where I can, but without going to the big matches. It just, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys develop.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the guys as well. Like I know we're gonna have a lot of team projects within the local the Delmarva area. I know one of the things we're pretty pumped about is setting up our 2-gun match in April. We're going to be coming back from an event with that from the when we get there. But I think these guys are pretty pumped. We're going to set up our own match. We're going to be like, well, we're going to sit down and be like, what were the best things last season? What were some of the best things we've seen in the matches? What are some of the best stage designs? How do we kind of like get elements of that and create a really good match? Because I mean, it's delivering a good product, right? You want shooters to enjoy the match while they're there and come back the next year. So definitely going to be taking a lot of notes and lessons from last season's season.
Yeah.
There
Hey, so you've kind of taken more of an interested role with the Quantico Shooting Club. And so what kind of matches are we going to see coming out of Quantico Shooting Club soon?
So right now, I'll tell you what we've done so far. There's definitely the USPSA match, pulls in a crap ton of people. There's Steel Challenge, PRS, and a Rimfire. I think it falls under PRS as well.
Yeah.
Let's put it. It's a Rimfire match.
Yep. 22 PRS.
Say again.
22 PRS.
Yep, 22 PRS. All of those are really popular matches, and we're bringing in a quantified a match under the quantified performance rule set, which is pretty much a precision style match, but the scoring is going to be time plus, and the targets are going to be to where you can literally go to Cabela's, go to Academy Sports, wherever your favorite gun store is, get a 16-inch AR off the shelf, and you could probably hit the targets. And which I think is a great thing, because I actually foresee this being pretty popular with the active duty guys around, because everyone loves shooting rifle, and that's going to be a good thing for them. And on top of that, our 2-gun match. I think the fun thing it's not going to be every month. It's going to be probably every 5th weekend that we can find, mostly for scheduling stuff. But the fun part is your day one's going to be 2-gun. Time plus, and then the next day, if you're still in the area and you want to shoot just all rifle, we're going to do we're going to take all the pistol targets minus the steel, change them out with rifle targets, and just let's put it this way: it's going to be hit factor rifle match, and you should probably bring a D60. because with a round count and when you include both the rifle and the pistol targets, it's going to be wild. Barrels are going to be melting, and that's going to be so entertaining.
I'm gonna have to make it out for that.
100%. You better. And here's the thing for this is a 3-gun podcast. A little bit of a little tutorial when it comes to hit factor math. The more targets there are, the more raw time is important. Raw time is extremely important. Like, oh, you got to hit alphas. Wait, hold on. In a pragmatic sense, go for alphas, obviously, dead center. But if you didn't miss a target, chances are you're so good. Keep running. Just keep running. I think Major Hitchcock and I, we shot a hit factor carbine match over in PA, and we saw the stage. There was a crap ton of targets up close. Both of us got like what? we set our hair was on fire, and we had, I think, 3 or 4 mics on the target, and we still got like second or third in the entire match on that stage because our raw times were blazing. We were sprinting through that stage. I'm not sure how Tony did. I'm gonna have to go check.
From the conversation I was hearing, is he was making excuses the entire way home.
Well, they weren't excuses, they were valid. But at the rate they were going on, there was always a response. Like it was fun. That was probably my favorite drive. My favorite 3.5. I think it was 2.5 hours. The shortest 3.5 hour drive I've ever had, because the conversations wouldn't stop. There you go. You have friggin' Tony going through his phone, looking at practice score hawking after the match, seeing what could have happened.
Oh Jesus! I get it, but I hate that. Okay. So you didn't shoot as good as you wanted to. You can't change the past. Who cares? Quit like trying to change the score to see what could have been. Just prepare for the next one.
Oh, so like, and this is for everyone listening. Like, if you've ever met Tony Alvarez, like his score hawking post match, like he is a GM at practice score ifing. It is one of the most endearing things about him, right? If for anybody who's never met him, and that your first interaction was him score hawking, obviously you might have some kind of opinion, but for us, it's just the most entertaining and most endearing thing. Like,
because the puppy doll guys come out, and the lip is like, the bottom lip is out. It's like, Tony, get over it. Come on.
Tony's amazing. He's always so much fun to be around. So much fun. Oh my gosh.
He'd give you the shirt off his back.
100% he would. I'll tell you something about Tony. Memorial. I had a pretty bad stage, and I'm fairly decent at keeping things together. I'm fairly decent at keeping it together, right? I had a pretty I think I had a collection of just a series of like, okay, my day didn't work out for me very well. I spent way too long on the SWAT band stage. And you can see me in one of the videos, just like forget one target and just like bring up my shotgun, shoot it. And you can see the shotgun just turn into like, it was like 1,000 pounds after. I was just so pissed off. And then he was having a bad match too, right? And this is an interesting thing, right? This is the beauty about the sports and having good people around you. He was not having a good match either. And he was talking about his match. He was a little upset. But when I started talking about my match and when I was upset, he just turned around. He flipped a switch and suddenly he was just there, like super encouraging, really like, oh, dude, you still got this part. Like, you can still do this. You can still do that. It's like he completely forgot about his performance and was just there, just kind of like, hyping me up and like, helping me out. And I was like, wow.
That's rare. That's something you don't find in many people.
No, you don't. And and when you said he'd give a shirt off of his back, 100% he would. I don't know about his jersey. He would give his Under Armour Memorial 3-gun shirt for you. And then I give him stickers. I give him all my stickers. Anytime I find stickers, I give it to him. So because I don't care about stickers, he loves them.
Well, it's because he puts them all over the back of his truck.
All over his house. He has stickers everywhere. It's pretty cool.
So what are you looking forward to doing? Which match are you most looking forward to right now?
I'll be honest.
I can ask that now because like last year was your first season of 3-gun, and now you kind of have something to go off of.
So obviously Memorial and Benning, I will always go to those matches. You know, like those were, like those are some great matches. Like just cool. It's like I love it whenever when I saw my career school classmates. Like 15 people were picked to shoot an entire stage from a little bird, and I'd show them videos of like the fuselage little Boeing we shot through. And Benning. I remember the final stage when everyone is pouring out on. I had probably one of these, and it's been a while, right? Because you shoot this a lot, you kind of get comfortable, you kind of like understand how to process your performance anxiety. You know your fingers are going to be frosty. You know your brain's going to be all sorts of weird. But that final stage where everyone is pouring out, I did not understand what was happening with my body. I was like, I know how to shoot under anxiety. I shoot well under anxiety. In fact, better than if I'm just there. And that adrenaline dump, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I need to use the freaking porta-john, but it's all the way over there. Freaking my stomach feels weird.
I tell you what, that last stage, oh my God. I love Nate Stasowitz. I love him. But whenever he came up to me and he was just like, oh, you're not going to need your shotgun. You just leave it back here. I'm like, are you really serious, bro? And he didn't realize I was the first shooter up. So he was just messing with me, but that got to my head. I did get to my shotgun. I did not finish on my shotgun though. I'm just like, he came up to me afterwards. He's like, dude, I am so sorry. I did not know you were about to go up. I was like, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he was so like, he was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like he was just, oh, that's awesome. That's Nate's character. He never means anything wrong, and then like he's just like he awesome dude. I love bumping into Nate in matches. This year though, this fiscal year, I'll be honest, I am super excited for the upcoming 3 matches. This is a controversial topic. Like this is a controversial topic in the 3-gun community. So Donnie, the Tar Heel Challenge, I'm excited because there's going to be a carry optics division. Tac Ops is still going to be there. Ops is still there. And the team, we're kind of splitting it up, right? Hey, you like dots on pistols or you like irons? We're still going to have the same shotgun, same rifles for the most part. So that's cool because I'm not an inherently accurate person, as you've seen. And my eyes are when people say when people talk about shooting a dot on a pistol, right? It's don't look at the dot, don't look at the dot. That's right. With iron sights, I see so much that I not only see 2 sets of sights, I see 2 sets of hands, 2 pistols. I see everything. I had buddies like tell me like, dude, your eyes are stupid. With a dot, I never look at the dot for the same reason why I see everything with a pistol, because I don't look at the dot because I just do not. I can't. I will see everything else and then the dot. So I'm excited for that. The Wisconsin 3-gun and JKM, they're going to have the modified division. It's going to be dots on pistols. Obviously, it's not going to replace Tac Ops for everyone listening. Rifle's going to stay the same, except you can actually when modified. I think they're going off the tri-gun rules. You can have a bipod, and your shotgun, your tube fat shotgun, can have a red dot. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I read so far. And then it also said specifically the shotguns cannot have bipods. And I was talking on Kellen from Vortex. I think he's from Vortex, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his surname, but we were talking on the phone. I was just like, dude, that changes everything. I thought we could have bipods on a shotgun. I was just freaking messing around with him. But I'm excited for that because it's interesting. Because I mean, for me, obviously, I can just take my carry optics pistol, freaking put a mag wall on it, and then be done with it. Excited for that. But yeah, and I think even on the previous podcast, like I have a huge bias towards junior shooters because I shot when I was younger, and I get it. Generation 3-gun, super excited for Generation 3-gun.
I was
We're going.
talking to Chad Francis on the phone last night, and
Did he tell you?
yeah, he's like, "Hey, fucker, you gonna be here for this?" I was like, "Dude, I have every intention on making it." He's like, "I got a place you could stay. Kevin has a place you can stay. You got a place to crash." I was like, "Dude, I think I can make it work because I plan on taking a full month of leave after I retire." Well,
Hell yeah.
uh, and what I mean is I'm taking close to 3 months of terminal leave, but I at least want to set 1 month aside to where I can just do whatever I want and
Mhm.
enjoy life.
That's important. You need to have just 1 month of a sabbatical. I don't know how you feel about that term, but
Hmm.
a sabbatical.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
mean, I was talking to a friend last week, and I've been reaching out to a lot of people who are in the civilian firearms industry or in the defense industry, and even in like the banking world, and like just people who are mentoring me along the way as I transition out of the Marine Corps. And one of my friends, Sheldon, he was telling me, he's like, "Dude, from my experience, I wish I at least took that time off after I got out. When you go into the civilian world, you are never going to get 1 full month of time off
mhm,
at one time ever again.
mhm.
2 weeks is hard enough, but taking a full month off when you're transition out, you'll never see that anywhere ever again." I was like, "All right, fair point. You sold me." And I'm gonna take that. And I plan on driving out there and hanging out with the guys, you guys at Gen 3 Gun. And like you said, it's about the junior shooters. Junior shooters,
100%.
they shoot free.
Yep. That's that's the way to do it.
Hmm.
Did Chad tell you about I had a question for him? Like I was like, "Hey, you got room for one more award?"
Oh
Uh,
dear, no, he didn't tell me.
no, for real. Like friggin' like I mean, well, as a team, we've seen it, right? These guys are these junior shooters are friggin' awesome, and I thought like we should take our PME Gung Ho Award and do something for that because like I know and this might be a cheat sheet for those listening, but like there's room for like a bunch of winners, and there's always going to be that one guy on the range, that one shooter on the range, one guy, girl, doesn't even matter, who's shooting the match, making sure he or she's like ready to go, got everything, getting the make ready sequence, friggin' all that stuff. But the other part that pulls people into the sport is this is the action sports are a place where if your gun goes down, the person you're competing with is probably going to be the one to go like, "Hey, you need an extra gun? I have a backup gun. Let me just get in my truck." And you'll have people run into the trucks and all that stuff to get guns. I think it would be cool to have like the junior shooter that we see who's like really, trying to compete, but at the same time is like taking care of the other junior shooters. Like, "Hey, friggin' take a look at my stage plan. I saw yours and try this one out." Or somebody who's like, like picking up mags or just being that shooter that everyone would want to squad with in the future just because of their demeanor, their character. We just kind of want to do that for one of the shooters out there. And I already talked to Messarn, and we have a little plan on what to give them. And we're currently like polishing that plan up.
I just off the top of my head, just from seeing junior shooters from last year, like if we were to
Yeah.
do that last year, I have two shooters off the top of my head that I
Yeah,
could see.
you
No,
can't
no,
say it. You can't
I
say
no,
names.
I'm gonna say it because this is from last year. Um, and we're because we're gonna be over at Gen 3 Gun, so we're gonna be around a lot more junior shooters. So this really doesn't matter, but just
Mhm.
off of what I saw from last year, like two shooters I have to kind of give props to for their demeanor, attitude, willingness to help, willingness to listen, all that.
Mhm.
It's Nate Schmidt and Connor Freiberger.
Oh wow, that's hard to argue. That's
Yeah, like those are
they're
two
awesome.
junior shooters that you know they embody what you want to have on a squad.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. Like they're not just focused on the game, which they are focused on the game, but they're also out there to just be good dudes for the other
Yeah.
shooters and just having a blast, which was awesome. Like we talked about on the last podcast, so I'm not going to go back into it again.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Those two are awesome. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see him again. Hopefully they're going to Tar Heel.
Yeah. It'd be great. I wish I could make it down to Tar Heel. I don't know if I can as of right
We're-
now. I know I'm gonna have some college courses coming up. Uh but and that's honestly like I I have all focus right now on college and getting specific certifications. So that's kind of where I got to set my priorities right now.
Absolutely.
And
Like I said,
there's going to be more opportunities to shoot once this stuff is done, and I have my life in order and start a new career. Okay, it's kind of all right. I'm going back to matches again. Maybe
let's
you
be real. Are
and
you ever going to stop?
no, hell no.
Yeah. A short break just so you can afford some 75, 77 grand,
Yep.
It's worth it.
Yep. But it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the team evolve and continue going in the upward direction that it is. The Three Guns always been in my heart. I I'm sad to kind of not really be in the role that I was anymore, but I'm excited to see everything that you bring to the team. It's time for that new blood.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm bringing to the team. The rest of the team, freaking, the spotlight's going to be on them. They're going to be the ones making the good stuff happen, and I'll be the ones to make sure they don't have to type in the Excel spreadsheets and PDFs.
Well,
DTS.
well, I will say this. I have a lot of experience due to the current class I'm taking right now on business applications, and one of the applications we're using a lot is Excel. So
Oh.
I can definitely go in there and help you build some formulas now.
Oh,
Stuff I wish I
prepared me for this.
I wish I had this knowledge 4 years ago, but
Well, I'm Asian. We covered formulas in Excel in grade school.
oh,
I
good
saw
for
that's
you.
where.
Good for you. Where were you last year?
You didn't ask. I could have made you.
No,
Yeah.
so I'm automatically supposed to typecast you because you're Asian and say, "Hey,
That's the thing.
build me formulas."
That's the thing. Yes. But how do you answer that?
But no, like I said, I'm excited to see where this goes. I you know we've taken a break from doing this podcast just because life has kind of gotten in the way for all of us, and we kind of have different focuses. But some friends asked me, "Hey, can you start it back up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can absolutely do that." And I wanted to do it with you, considering we never really got to talk too much about betting and all the other matches in between and what we've been doing up till now. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, and I do plan on continuing to keep in contact with the team even after I retire, just to see the direction that it continues going and keeping people well informed, especially the Marines that aren't in the shooting sports yet. Hopefully this is a catalyst that can get them interested into the shooting sports, just to better prepare them for life situations they may find themselves in.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a fun year.
Oh yeah, but thanks for listening, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Have a good day.
Have a good day.